Hi everyone. In next talk we have with us Piyush. Piyush is a CEO at Aureate Labs Private Limited, and he's going to talk about headless strategies. Already, he's working with a kind of a consultant kind of, and already he 100 customers already merchants he already consulted. So that's nice. And Piyush is going to share about how to make a headless commerce strategies. So Piyush, over to you. This is Stace.
Okay. Hey, Manish, thank you very much for a warm introduction. Uh, Good morning, everyone. Let me introduce myself first so you know from where I'm coming from. I started Oracle Labs 10 years back, and since inception, we are working on e-commerce domain. In last 2 years, I got chance to consult with more than 110 plus merchants across the 8 countries. During this consultation, I found 10 areas of their business and also figure out why they are looking at popular buzzwords, PW or headless. Also, I observe that when it's come to decision making of these technologies, they are very skeptical. They don't know if it's right choice for them or not. So in today's presentation, I'll try to explain how to choose a headless commerce approach. So let's begin. Fine. So my agenda. Very first, uh, okay. Very first, I'll explain modern world e-commerce challenges. Then how headless commerce can solve this problem, and at which stage of your business you should choose headless approach, and what other key parameters to keep in the mind. Uh, During this presentation, if you do have any questions, please post it. If we are running out of time, then I'll make sure to answer all of you in personally after this presentation. Okay, fine. Let's get started. Uh, so very first challenge of modern e-commerce is poor buying experience. If we go a few years back, people was not used to buy online at current scale. At that time, user experience was typical. I would say it was era of 2G and 3G. Even if your website taking 20 seconds to load, then also you were certainly okay with that. But now Generation G wants everything on their fingertip and instantly. If your website taking more time to load, they don't care. They will abandon your website and switch to other. So to give high-end user experience is not your wants anymore, but it's necessity. Each year, your competitor introducing a new technology to their e-commerce, so you have to continuously upgrade yourself to be in the market. Then second challenge is scalability and flexibility. Let's understand this by one example. Uh, Let me take Magento example. In Magento platform, if you want to make minor changes on the checkout page, you have to make changes in many files and to do lots of testing. And then you do lots of testing before pushing it to the live. Gradually, for every new feature, you keep adding new modules on the top of Magento. Then there will be a certain situation where you want to add new things, and it will take more time, and it will impact on your store performance. When you are operating on traditional or monolith architecture, you won't have flexibility to run a new experiment or new features or application to your platform easily. And maintaining such system will need dedicated team, which will increase your operational cost. uh, the last and third challenge, according to me, is speed of go-to-market. For example, if you want to make some changes at front-end layer, then your front-end and back-end team has to work together. They can't work independently. Um, this nature of traditional commerce will take time to launch features or solution to the market. Uh, Delay in go-to-market will cost you more than you may think. Let me explain this by one example, real example. One of our client launched mask category to their e-commerce store during this pandemic, and he started getting around 2,000 order per day. And their operational team has to verify their mobile phone numbers manually in order to avoid risk of shipment returns. To overcome this challenge, client wanted to introduce OTP verification feature, but because of e-commerce platform limitation, it cannot be done immediately, as front end and back end team has to work together. Uh, Once development is done, they need to test all use cases and then they can push to the live. But fortunately, we launched this feature and client got ROI within 1 week. Uh, but this don't happen every time, you know. Uh, Here, headless. Okay, to solve all these challenges, headless commerce architecture come into the picture. Many of you already know what is the headless commerce, but if some of you don't, then let me quickly explain. Almost all e-commerce built in last few years are on traditional or monolith architecture, where front end and back end are tightly coupled. All e-commerce platform has its own templating language. Yeah. For example, Magento use XML and PHTML, while Shopify use Liquid. Uh, if you if you are using monolith platform, your developer has to learn this templating language. They don't have any choice. Uh, a headless architecture is a decoupling of front end and back end, and they can host it separately as well. In headless architecture, front end and back end communicate using API layer. Uh, yeah, Headless meaning it runs without any graphical user interface, but it need some sort of interface so customer can place an order. Here we can address front end as a head and back end as a headless or body. This is the terminology. Now let's discuss that how decoupling of front end and back end can actually solve a modern e-commerce problem. Uh, okay, fine. Now in headless architecture, now you have independent front end, right? So you can use any modern front end technology to build your presentation layer uh, or PWA. You can use Vue.js or React.js technology for the same. Using this technology, you can build lightning fast store, which actually loads in sub-second. Uh, and you can build best user experience without any limitation, which was not really possible in monolith architecture. Let's talk about scalability and flexibility. Your front end and back end can scale independently. Even if your front end receives lots more traffic, this does not affect to your back end, as they are loosely coupled. If you want to build Alexa skill or PWA, you can do that. During this process, you will face some errors, but it won't affect on your backend operations. Uh, while in traditional commerce, you have to modify backend and front end code in parallel. Uh, in case of Magento, you have to put website on maintenance for important updates. Let me give you another good example of flexibility. For example, for your blog requirement, you can use WordPress in backend, and your front end layer will fetch data. Uh, your front end layer will fetch blog data using WordPress APIs and render it on your front end. But eventually, if you want to, if eventually if you find WordPress is not right fit for you, then you can go ahead and replace it with Ghost or Contentful or Prismic or Graph CMS. There are lots of third-party CMS platform are available right now. And you can do that without any much more difficulties. Okay. As headless commerce is scalable and flexible, you can add or integrate any feature really quickly. Uh, yeah. Let's understand the speed of go-to-market with one example. I believe you will relate to this. Let's say your website is on top of Magento. Your marketing team wants to launch a landing page for upcoming festivals, right? So this will be a typical process. Your marketing head will idealize the page layout. UI designer and your marketing executive brings idea to the life. Your development team, front end and back end, both start working together on the landing page on staging server first. Your QA team do testing. Once it's approved, now your DevOps guys will pull all the changes on the production, and then campaign goes live, right? So here landing page passes through 7 different processes, and 7 resources spend few hours of time on it, and then it goes live, let's say in 4 days, right? Now let's check how process look like with headless scenario. Yeah, it's looking simple. So very first step will be your marketing head idealize the page. Your designer build some of the component for the page. uh, your marketing executive build, preview, and publish landing page using third-party CMS system, and your campaign can go live within 2 days. So here your team composition is almost half. You save operational cost, and speed of going to the market is really fast. Here, your marketing team is capable enough to run campaign on their own without relying on a backend team. This is one good use case of headless commerce. When your marketing team have enough flexibility of execution, they can test best ideas which can increase your business. So let me summarize benefits of headless commerce. Very first, your front end team has full control, and they can perform best individually. Your marketing team will have freedom to run campaigns, and you can achieve sub-second site speed. When your website is faster, your bounce rate will be decreased. When your bounce rate is decreased, and you have a great user interface, then your ad spending will be decreased. Hence, your customer acquisition cost CAC will decrease. Uh, if you can achieve green score in Lighthouse, then it will improve in your search engine ranking. And lastly, you can integrate any third-party system easily. Uh, yeah, and of course, there are a few challenges of using headless commerce. When you are adopting headless commerce, you are ultimately doing migration, and it demands a one-time investment. Uh, Now you need to add skill set for front end and maybe for back end. Headless commerce is evolving, and it has a good learning curve. Uh, you need to host backend and front end separately, which will again add hosting cost. When you are using third party system like maybe CMS system, uh, it's just for example, it will add another cost. uh, yeah, so there is always dilemma that what is the right time to adapt headless approach. uh, Always merchant question themselves that it's for me or not. To do decision making easier, I'll walk you through different commerce maturity models, which may help you to identify your stage and which headless approach is suitable for you. Uh, you just think that headless commerce is your future goal, and if you are at really early in your business, then I'll explain you step by step that how you can achieve that eventually. So there are 3 main stages of business. Let me walk you through each stages. Uh, Very first one is introduction. Uh, when you start your business, you are experimenting the market. You're not sure what will work for you and what not. Usually, to go with SaaS vendor like BigCommerce or Shopify will will be wise choice. It's because they are handling all hurdles of IT, and you can focus more on business, what matters most for you. Again, there is a few exception where this SaaS is not right fit with your business model. Then you may choose open source platform like Magento or Shopware. At this stage, usually IT budget is low, and all e-commerce development either managed by a small in-house team or fully outsourced to another e-commerce agencies. When you are at this stage and you want to make better version of your website, then you can go ahead with PWA, which can be built on the top of your monolith, or I would say using APIs of the monolith. If you are doing this, then you are separating front end and back end at the very stage. Of course, doing PW at this stage normally cost you more than your regular website, but there are some long-term benefits for the same. So for example, when you are building PWA, you don't have to invest on iOS or Android app development unless it's your business requirement. Uh, if you are Magento, if you are on Magento, you can either choose PW Studio or Scandi PW. There are few themes and extensions are available in market which works with PW Studio, so you don't have to reinvent everything again. Yeah. So again, full headless commerce tech is not advisable here. Fine. Let's move ahead with the next stage, which is growth. Uh, at this stage, you experience significant growth. This growth may be unexpected. You got a huge spike, but it is not due to the platform you are using, but maybe it's because your current demand in the market, or you are launching new thing in the market. During this stage, you question to current system that it will scale further as you grow or not. If it doesn't, then you start evaluating a solution which is actually scalable and help you in next stage of your business. Also at this stage, usually business invest on overall commerce architecture and software components like ERP, CRM, order management system, team marketing automation, or analytics or reporting. Uh, this all software components needs to talk with main platform, which can be achieved by APIs. At this stage, many SaaS platforms start struggling. That's the reason merchant move from Shopify or BigCommerce to Magento or any relevant e-commerce platform. At this stage, you can build better version. Sorry, at this particular stage, you can build better customer experience by utilizing API that leverages PWA, and you can expand your APIs until it covers entire front end. This particular thing will help you in your future journey when you wanted to add new touch points. Yeah. Okay, so the last and third stage is maturity. Maturity is key stage in e-commerce business life cycle. At this stage, business are proven, they have loyal fan base, and they try to design best shopping experience. To cope up with market dynamics, they invest in new technology, but they try to make sure that it doesn't put any adverse effect on their ongoing current operations because they can't afford that. uh, they need technology. They're actually looking for the technology which improves their operational efficiency and optimize operational cost. Also, it should be future proof and flexible enough. Like I said, this is very crucial stage. If you don't stay ahead of the competition, then you head toward the declining stage. By putting average effort, if you put average effort, then you can achieve a plateauing growth, but it's not enough. To achieve booster growth, companies start thinking in many directions. It's uh, either it's adding new top management or replatforming current system and make data-driven decisions. At this stage, adoption of headless commerce tech is excellent choice. It will certainly give boost in technology direction and increase efficiency of the operations. At this stage, this stage is suitable for microservice architecture, where you can utilize industry's best solution available. For example, you can use Contentful or Graph CMS for content management system. For e-commerce engine, you can either use Commerce Tool or Elastic Path, Pimcore or Akeneo. For the PIM, Bolt or Fast for the checkout, Clevo or Algolia for the search, and list is so on. This all systems are loosely coupled, so you can change anything anytime. Even though you are in the middle of the Black Friday campaign, And if you want to change anything during the campaign, you can do it without worrying anything at all. Till now, I explained a different approach of headless commerce. I'm running out of time or what? 1 second. Okay, I'll go a little faster. Till now, I explained different approach of headless commerce for different stages, but there are some exceptional where you can still adopt headless regardless of which stage you are. One of our, I'll actually explain this by 3 example very quickly. One of our client launched new website for his startup business, uh, which is well funded, and within 4 months they show a really good traction, and they are aiming for 2 million plus revenue in the first year only. They are adopting headless approach at this very early stage, and that actually makes sense for them. Another use case is if you are rebranding or migrating from one platform to another, you should think on direction of headless. It will certainly increase your little cost, but it will help you in long term, like I said before. Recently, yeah, third example. Recently, I spoke with my one of the merchant who has sizable revenue goals, but their current e-commerce platform has lots of issues. In this case, headless commerce or PWA can help them a lot. Everyone in e-commerce knows that high performing websites, meaning high conversions and good ROI. Think with Google is very Google. Sorry, think with Google is very good tool which I actually use during my consultation to measure ROI of faster website. This tool actually evaluate ROI from the historic data available with the Google, and I actually run this test for Med.com website. Um, Here you can see how site speed affects on your ROI. I'll clarify site speed and page speed both are two different things. Uh, okay, if you still don't believe that you can improve conversion by making your website faster, fine, I got solution for you. We actually tried this approach with our client before making decision of headless commerce. Either you can build micro website of your flagship products and you can bring traffic and test it if it's working for you or not. If you don't want to try micro website, then best option is you build temporary static page for category or products and do split testing and measure conversion. Please note that the new microsite or page should load within 1.5 seconds. I would say sub-second would be best. Then only you can measure a correct result for your entire website, and you can do all the calculation rightly. Another factor and another factor is headless commerce, which can save your operational cost, and then you can achieve ROI faster. Let me summarize this presentation. Very first, don't fall by buzzwords. Evaluate if headless commerce or PW is right for you based on your e-commerce journey. Adopting headless or PW doesn't do any magic. You have to harness power of this technology. Always focus on CRO and always care about ROI. And this is last and my favorite one. Speed defines the winner. Either it's speed of site or speed of go to market or speed of getting ROI or speed of shipment or speed of customer support. It matters now and always. Thank you very much. I'm open for the questions if you have any, and if we have time, Manish.
Thanks, Piyush. Thank you for sharing all the insightful session about PWA and the commerce solution. And yes, of course, nowadays it is very tough to decide which platform we have to choose. So yeah, that is a very good, insightful session. I think it will help merchants and developer as well for a consulting and all things. So
Okay.
yes, we thanks again. We have few questions here in the chat. I have posted to you. Let me.
Okay, let me check it. Uh, what is best approach to learn Magento PWA? Okay, when you say PWA, there are lots of platform available in market. There is PW Studio, Scandi PWA, Viewstore Front. I would say Scandi PW. I would not say Scandi PW is headless, but I would say PW Studio and Viewstore Front is truly headless PW solutions. The best way you can join the community of the respected vendors and you can learn it faster. Uh, Manish, let me know if our time's up. Otherwise, I'll speaking.
Yeah, just last question we can take. Does Scandi PW upgrade like PW Studio?
Uh, I don't think so. Maybe I'm
Okay.
not. Yeah, maybe I don't think so.
All right. Okay.
I
Thanks,
think so.
guys. Yeah, guys, you can take offline questions because we're already running out of time.
Yeah, sure. I'll
And
respond.
yes, thank you so much, Piyush, again. And guys, we will connect again for PWA section at I think 1 minute. Let me tell you, we will connect at 2:30 again for next PWA session. So stay tuned. And yeah, thanks,
Thank
Piyush.
you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye. See you.